There we go.
What is going on, guys? Andrew Hayes here, back with another video, the much anticipated top 10 matches of the year list. It's been a while, but I had a lot of watching to do, so that's on me. But without further ado, my guest as always, Double Nine. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, you guys? Film Fan 599 here again. We're here to talk about the top 10, our top 10 favorite matches of 2018. Boys?
Yeah, no, like I said, I had a lot of rewatching to do. A lot more than I initially anticipated, so that's why it's kind of late. Because I know I sent him guess how many matches I'm rewatching, and it was 40 something, but it actually ended up being more than that because as it went on, I remembered matches, and then I go, oh, I should watch this match and this match. So there was a lot of matches I ended up rewatching. Obviously, I'm not gonna talk about all of them because if I were to guess, probably close to 60, maybe even 70 matches I rewatched in I don't know, a 2-3 week time span. So I've been watching a lot of wrestling. Yeah. So
commitment to you, my man.
Yeah, so a lot of it was WWE stuff. There was quite a few that were outside of WWE. So we will see. But before we actually get started, I would like to give a shout out to my boy Chris Kamza, who watches every single one of my videos. You're the man, and I want you to holler if you hear me, my brother. But before we get started, just a couple things in mind. First, even though I did watch a lot, I didn't watch every single match. It was just, there's a lot that I still missed. If I had the time, I probably would have watched every single match, but it just, I only watched what I felt like was the essentials. Number two. And I know Double Nine. He hasn't watched anything.
Yeah, let me explain. Okay, listen, I am trying to be a bit better this year because I am trying to watch more outside just of WWE and NXT. But yes, but for this list, there isn't going to be as much of that on my list because I haven't really watched as much stuff. I will admit the only thing that I have seen that has been outside of WWE from last year was All In, and that was about it.
Yeah, because the thing is that it's kind of hard for us to watch stuff outside of WWE. I mean, I watched a lot outside of WWE, but it was pretty hard for me to find. But I did end up finding it, but yeah. It was just still pretty hard for the find. So just keep that in mind. It's not that we're not choosing to watch it. It's just that it's hard for us to watch.
Yeah, it's hard. Oh, trust me, if I could find this shit on TV, I would watch it every week. I would, but it's hard to find.
Yeah, it's so hard. But
yeah.
But anyway, the second thing is this is our personal list. These are not the 10 definitive. Oh, these are a fact that these 10 matches are the best of the year. These are just what we believe and in our opinion are our favorite matches of the year. These are the ones that we enjoy the most, that we revisit the most, that resonate with us the most. So while you might not agree with it, that's fine. I would love to know your list, but please be respectful of our list and we will be respectful of yours because quite frankly, I don't really care what's on anybody's list but my own. I mean, I care what's on other people's lists, but at the end of the day, we could be disagreeing on our list completely and whatnot. His number one could be a match.
Yeah, as long as we're happy with our list, then that's what should matter.
Yeah. So anyway, those are the two things that I wanted to go over as I do every year. So same rules apply as the normal list that we do. We'll each go back and forth, and if we have the same match in the same placement, we'll talk about it together. Without further ado, I do have some honorable mentions. I have 5.
Go ahead.
Because I could have a lot more, but I figured I'd do it as I do with my movies. Because I usually just stick to 5 honorable mentions from the movies, just to so I can really keep things simple and make my honorable mentions kind of more means more. So I decided to go with 5 honorable mentions for the this list as well. So my 5 honorable mentions include Finn Balor versus Miz versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania.
Ooh,
the triple threat for the Intercontinental title. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Kenny Omega from the G1 Climax. That was a fantastic match. Nice. This next one might surprise some people and might piss some people off, but I don't care. It's a great match, but it just for me at least, there were a couple of things holding it back for me putting it on my list, and that is Okada versus Omega 4 from Dominion, where Omega finally won the titles in that a great 2 out of 3 falls match. Just missed my list. And my last 2 honorable mentions are the War Games match from this year and the North American title ladder match from TakeOver New Orleans. So those are my honorable mentions.
Nice. All right, so here are my honorable mentions. I have Adam Cole versus Ricochet versus Pete Dunne, the triple threat match for the North American Championship from the episode of NXT. I have Charlotte versus Becky Lynch versus Asuka, a triple threat tables, ladders, and chairs match from, well, TLC. I have the Raw Gauntlet match from Monday Night Raw. I thought that was pretty cool. I have the mixed tag team match with Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. And my last honorable mention is, if I can find it, hold on, give me a second. Oh, the men's Money in the Bank ladder match.
Yeah, no, all great matches. I did rewatch all of those as well, so those were great. But yeah, no, they just, like I said, I've been watching a lot, and just a lot of great matches. So a lot of them I would love to talk about, but just I'm only talking about really my top 10. But obviously a special honorable mention to the 5 that I just mentioned. But yeah, without further ado, let's get started. So like I said, I'm gonna start with number 10, and my number 10 is the 2018 Men's Royal Rumble.
That's awesome, my number 10.
All right, awesome.
Yes.
Fantastic. So, I've been saying it all year, and I might sound biased because I was there, but I've rewatched it multiple times, and I truly believe, in my opinion, and this, I know the 2001 Royal Rumble is the best, but, for me, this one will be the best, and this is the one that I will remember the most. For multiple reasons. Reason being, one, I legitimately, this is the first time in such a long time that the right winner won.
Yeah, not since I think like Edge was like, there's been like since the right winner won, I think.
Yeah, because, you look back, 2007 Randy Orton won. That came out of nowhere, and that really confused me and kind of pissed me off because
why would he win, honestly?
Yeah, why did Randy need to win? 2016 Triple H, which I know people are like, I'm happy Triple H won, but I'm not happy. People aren't happy Triple H won. People are just happy Roman lost.
Yeah.
I mean, Dean could have won. That could have been better. AJ, Kevin Owens. There were so many other people that could have won that would have made that match better. To 2015, I don't even need to really go into.
You were there for that too.
I was there for that. So, and I'll get a little bit more into the 2015 one. 2014 was Batista. 2013 was John Cena. 2012 was Sheamus. I believe Chris Jericho should have won that one. 2011 was Alberto Del Rio.
Really won that one. It would have elevated. I think it would have elevated his and Punk's feud much more if he won it.
Yeah, and 2011 was Del Rio, and I don't really remember liking that match. And
it was supposed to be like the biggest Royal Rumble ever. It was just like. And a lot of the filler spots were just like a bunch of jobbers, and then the Nexus took over the match and made it boring. It was not a fun match.
So the last good. I mean, 2016 was a good Royal Rumble match, but the last time we had a great Royal Rumble match with the great winner was 2010 with Edge.
Oh, 2010 is so underrated. That's high up there as one of my favorite.
Yeah, and that was 2009
the first Royal Rumble I ever witnessed, and it resonated with me so much. It was so amazing. It was so star-studded, and just the right guy won that matchup.
And the problem with the Royal Rumbles in past is there's always a favorite to win. Shinsuke Nakamura, I believe going in it was the favorite. But there were also other possibilities. Roman was the big one that was Roman could very much win. And while the two most believable were Shinsuke and Roman, I believe that Finn Balor had a very good chance of winning. John Cena, you can never count him out. I mean, after last year,
had a good chance of winning that year.
Yeah, and I can never count out Randy Orton, especially what happened in 2017. I think there was a big possibility that Daniel Bryan could have came out and won the Rumble because he, like, while it was uncertain whether he would come back or not to wrestle, it was later, like, he later did come back. So, still, like, there was that possibility that Daniel Bryan could have won. So, like,
yeah. And now with this year's Royal Rumble, we have no fucking clue who's going to win. This is like the first time in a very long time we have no fucking clue who's going to win.
Yeah, and
in terms of the men's, at least.
Yeah, so like that's why with 2010, there were so many people like Shawn Michaels, John Cena, Batista, Triple H, Edge, who ended up winning, and so that's why like in the 2015 Royal Rumble, it's like there were two people that could have won: Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan was eliminated very, very early in that match, so everybody knew who was going to win. In 2014, it was either Daniel Bryan or Batista. Daniel Bryan did not come out in that match. Everybody knew Batista was going to win.
Yeah, in 2013, everybody figured John Cena was going to win because what they were building up towards.
Yeah, so, like, my point is, it's been a long time since we've had a great Royal Rumble with a good winner, nonetheless. And, you know, I was there live. And I'll always say, like, being there live enhances a match and enhances the emotion of a match. So, so I still, I'm watching the match and I still remember how I felt. Mm-hmm. And that has a lot to do with why I made my list. See all you want about, Finn should have been in the final two, but I think Roman being the final two was actually perfect because, like I said, the two people, everybody was like, it's either going to be Shinsuke winning or it's going to be Roman. Shinsuke was the person everybody wanted to win because everybody wanted to see Shinsuke versus AJ at Mania. Nobody wanted the Roman to win because, he's Roman. So having Roman and Shinsuke be the final two, I think was brilliant because it's like, Roman now has... It made it believable that Roman's going to win, and it made that much more special when Roman gets eliminated, and like you had to have heard that pop. Yeah. I know, being in the crowd, you can hear everything a lot more because, you don't hear the commentators, and there's just a lot of noise on the TV that you don't hear, or that you hear on the TV that you don't hear live. So the pop was it's one of the biggest pops I've ever heard. Ever, and live, and the only thing that it's the closest thing so the biggest pop I've ever heard live was when Dolph Ziggler came out to cash in. Mm-hmm. Shinsuke is a very close second, and it might even be just as loud. I don't know, but so it's been a long time, and I mean the Royal Rumble is my favorite pay-per-view, so to have gone to the 2015 one and it turned out the way it did. And then, for a long time being to be disappointed by the Rumble for such a long time, to finally be there and to witness not only a great Rumble, but see the deserving winner win. It was amazing. And that ultimately what elevated it to my top spot. But other than that, I think this had everything a Rumble should have. Great spots, great performances. I know I had some great comedy spots. I love Heath Slater. That was funny. Great surprises. Almost coming out of the
Almost Cole, Mysterio.
Yeah, Mysterio, Hurricane. None of those people.
How loud was the pop when Mysterio came out?
Oh, it was pretty big. Because none of I predicted who I thought might come out. And I was maybe RVD, and I mentioned Mysterio, but Mysterio was no, someone that I don't know. I go maybe Jericho, maybe all these different people, maybe Sandman, because it was in Philadelphia, but none of the people that actually came out I predicted, really. So that made the surprise that much more. Mm-hmm. And then just a deserving winner. So that's ultimately why it's my number 10.
The reason it's my number 10, pretty much for the same reasons that you put it as. This was the first time in a very long time where I really loved a Royal Rumble match and really thought the winner was really deserving of it. And this was just awesome to watch. Like, for the first time in a long time, I was really on the edge of my seat during a Rumble match, to be honest. I just loved everything about this. It had great spots, great comedy, like you said. The surprises were great. It was awesome to see Rey Mysterio again. Like, when Adam Cole came out, that was pretty cool, especially what happened to him at the night previous.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was an awesome matchup. Definitely the best Rumble match. Honestly, this year's Rumble's got a lot to top for this year because that's how great I feel like this one was, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I agree with you 100% about the final two. I think it added more to the suspense of like, oh crap, could Shinsuke actually not win this? Like, but when he did, it felt like a great moment. And having him eliminate both Cena and Reigns to win the Rumble, that's pretty big. Like,
yeah, and then you had that great moment when there were 6 people left, where like kind of the old school facing off against the new school, where it was like, Cena, Orton, and Mysterio versus Nakamura, Balor, and Roman. Like, that was just like a great moment.
That sent chills. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah, and like even when like Mysterio came out, like it was like, maybe Mysterio could win this. Like the final 6, like I could believe it if every single one of those people won.
Yeah.
And that's why I thought it was so great. And this will go. I mean, everything's subjective, with wrestling and whatnot, and everybody's gonna have a different opinion on everything. And like I can understand if like someone went to like like I went to the 1992 Rumble, and I think that one's my favorite. Like this will go down as my favorite Royal Rumble match, because not only like watching it back, like, do I like legitimately think that it's a perfect Royal Rumble and it has everything a Royal Rumble should be, and it did like everything like perfectly. It's the fact that I was there that is going to make it my favorite, because like the 2010, I think that's a perfect Royal Rumble. 2001, that's a perfect Royal Rumble. 1994 is another great Royal Rumble that I think
2004 is probably my favorite Royal Rumble personally. I really like that one a lot.
Oh yeah, that one's great. 2006 is another one that I love.
Oh yeah. I don't know how you feel about the 2008 and 2009 ones, but I like those ones a lot too.
Yeah, and so like for me, the 2018 Royal Rumble will go down as my favorite Royal Rumble like ever, because just for the simple fact that I was there live. So yeah, I mean, you can call me biased all you want, but I
can't blame you. You fucking witnessed the Royal Rumble live, like probably like the best one, and probably like the best one in years. So
yeah, and like this, especially when I saw the 2015 one live, and I was so like burnt by that because I've always wanted to go to a Royal Rumble. And while like I don't hate the 2015 Rumble, like it's not a good Royal Rumble. And see, like I could be biased, be like, oh, the 2015 one was a good one. It's not that bad, but like it's a bad Royal Rumble. There are some good things about the Royal Rumble that year, but I mean,
but having Big Show and fucking Kane be like the last,
that was just dumb. Having Roman it was just dumb all the way around. So like just being so burnt by that, like I was like really nervous about this one because I go, Roman I don't know, like leading up to the event, I was having very bad flashbacks of like Roman winning.
Flashback, boys.
Yeah, so like to have Roman not win and have Shinsuke win the rightful winner was pretty amazing. So,
all right, I guess that's it. That's our number 10.
All right, my number 9 is a tag team match from NXT, and that is the Undisputed Era versus Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch from NXT TakeOver Chicago 2. This is my pick for the most underrated match of the year.
Nice.
More people should be talking about it, but unfortunately, I don't hear a lot of people talking about it because a lot of people talk about that match, Gargano versus Ciampa 2 from the street fight, which was great, but this is just, I don't know, like there was something about this match that captivated me. And like Lorcan and Burch, I'm like huge fans of them now, especially Oney Lorcan, but like Burch is great too, but like Oney Lorcan was the breakout star in this match. I am now a huge Oney Lorcan fan. And Danny Burch too. I love Danny Burch too, but Lorcan is the guy who I think really shined in this match and really broke out. There was a lot of like crazy like sequences that he did was great. Like when he just the one that I always revisit is he's on the top rope and he gets pushed off and he lands like back first onto the ring apron, which that looked nasty. And then like both of them just literally like showed a lot of heart in this match, and I loved it. And they wrestled with a chip on their shoulder, and rightfully so, because nobody wanted them to win. I didn't even want them to win because like nobody knew who they were. But like after this, like everybody knows who they are. They gained a lot of fans, me being one of them, and I was just amazed. Like I was like, why? Like who are these guys? Like what did they do? Like how like good are they to get a title shot? And like it was blatantly obviously Undisputed Era was gonna win, because why would they give it to like two nobodies? But then all of a sudden, like they had this amazing match, and like I don't know, like the end of the match, I'm like, man, could like Lorcan and Burch actually win the tag team titles? And I think they became stars with this match. This is a match that's a lot of fun. Lorcan is a madman, and I love it. He is he's wrestles kind of similar to like a strong style kind of way, but not like exactly like British strong style or like regular strong style. But it definitely like very stiff, and I love that. He's very brutal in some of his like slaps and uppercuts and whatnot, and I love it. And the Undisputed Era is great as always. I loved the spot with Adam Cole where it looked like Lorcan and Burch were actually going to do it, but Adam Cole interfered and got I believe it was Roderick Strong. It was one of them's foot on the ropes and got kicked out, and like that was great. And this is just a match that I just revisit a whole bunch of times, and it's a lot of fun, and definitely I think is the most underrated match of the year. More people should be talking about this match, and Lorcan and Burch were definitely the breakout stars of this match, and arguably the breakout stars of all of NXT for the whole year. But
nice.
Yeah, Undisputed Era versus Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan from TakeOver Chicago 2 is my number 9.
All right, nice. That's a great match, so I can't blame you for putting that on your list. So
and I like talk about that match all the time. I mean, like obviously not on camera, but like you should like literally like you should ask my friends like how often I talk about this match, because I talk about this match like quite a lot. Like this is honestly my favorite match from TakeOver Chicago 2, and I know I'm very much in the minority with that. But
well, we'll get into what's my favorite matchup on that event.
Yeah, like I'm very much in the minority with that, and I don't argue with everybody's favorite match because that is a great match. But like,
I can't blame you for having that one.
Yeah, I mean, like, this was such a surprise for me. I'm like, holy shit! Like, who thought this was gonna be? Like, this was such a sleeper. Everybody slept on this match, including myself, and I'd be the first person to say I didn't think this match was going to be that special, and I didn't think Lorcan and Burch were like going to be so like I was going to be a fan of Lorcan and Burch, but all of a sudden like this match happens, and I'm raving about this match, and like this is before I believe this is before we even started doing these reviews.
No, we started doing these reviews. We did Money in the Bank and
oh yeah, that's right. So I mean, I'm sure if you go back to that review, you could see me going gaga over this match.
Yeah.
Like I am now. But I love this match. It's so fun. Burch is insane. Lorcan is insane. I fucking love them. I really hope they get I don't really think they're gonna get a tag title. Like they're gonna get a run with the tag titles just because who's there, but I would love to see them more, or at least see more matches on takeovers, because they're fucking great and I love them.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my number 9.
All right, my number 9 is AJ Styles versus John Cena versus Baron Corbin versus Dolph Ziggler versus Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn in a 6-pack challenge for the WWE Championship from Fastlane.
Yeah, no, this is a really fun match. So I can
this might be my favorite 6-pack challenge I've ever witnessed, honestly. Like, this matchup is so fun to watch. The start of it, literally, John Cena just AAs everybody. It's fucking incredible. Like, Dolph Ziggler tries charging at him, AA. Kevin Owens tries charging at him, AA. Sami Zayn tries charging at him, AA. Baron Corbin, AA. And then AJ Styles is the only one he doesn't get. I don't know. Like, I thought that was like an amazing start to the matchup. And then just like a matchup like this could be a clusterfuck, but I feel like all the wrestlers got their stuff in and did a really great job in the matchup. I also liked how Shane got involved in the matchup too, because he was in a feud with both Owens and Zayn. So I liked how he was intertwined into this. And it was great. Like I know a lot of people thought it was random as fuck that a lot of these guys got into this matchup, but I felt like the way that they handled it, like the way that they inserted themselves, made it into a really fun match. And I think it's a really great matchup to watch. Like there's a lot of insane spots. The AA through the announce table. Baron Corbin running Dolph Ziggler through whatever that barricade was in the audience. And, like I said, Shane getting involved, like, pulling the referee out, costing Owens and Zayn the title and shit. It was a great matchup. Lots of great storytelling. Lots of awesome spots. Like I said, this might be my favorite six-pack challenge maybe I've ever witnessed, to be honest, because it was just a lot of fun. Because, like I said, a lot of these matches can be really clustered. And even though I could see why some people could think this was clustered, I feel like a lot of the guys really got in their stuff and did a very good job with what they had to offer. So yeah, that's what my number 9 is, the six-pack challenge for the WWE Championship.
Yeah, no, definitely great. So my number 8, a match that I'm kind of surprised is a little lower on my list, but made my list nonetheless, and that is Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles from TLC. This was like probably the best main roster match of the year, in my humble opinion. You got two people who are like just great at what they do. Two of the best like ever, in my opinion. AJ Styles, who is my favorite wrestler currently, my second favorite wrestler of all time, versus Daniel Bryan, who is up there for me as well. And I just love what Daniel Bryan's been doing. He just, the heel turn has been genius, in my opinion.
And, for sure, man.
And this match was a masterpiece. It was a technical masterpiece, and I absolutely love it. These are both people who are just fantastic, and I was interested from the first second to the last, and I love the ending where AJ Styles rolls him up, and then Daniel Bryan reverses it, and just it's like now he has him in the roll up, and Daniel Bryan wins that way. I thought it was great. Really doesn't have a definitive ending, and we're gonna get to see AJ versus Daniel Bryan again at the Royal Rumble, which I'm excited for because of that, because of what happened. And while I don't think that match at the Royal Rumble is going to be as good, I just think that it is going to be great, and I'm very excited for it. I can't wait. I love Daniel Bryan with the title. I want him to hold it for a long time because I just love what he's doing with the title. I think he's been doing great so far with the title and with this heel run, and this match is evident of that. And this match is evident of how like AJ Styles is the best in the world, in my opinion, right now. And I can't wait to see what either of them do like after the Royal Rumble and what they do for WrestleMania. So yeah, that's my number 8.
Nice. All right. Just like you, I'm a little disappointed that this match is so low on my list, but nonetheless, it's still on my list. That is Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton in a Hell in a Cell match from Hell in a Cell. This is without question, I think, the best Hell in a Cell match I've seen in quite some time, to be honest. This was everything that a Hell in a Cell matchup should be. It was brutal as hell. It left a rivalry that was, steaming with a lot of fuel, and, we need to, kind of just break this off. And the only way that they were able to do this was a Hell in a Cell match. I also like how they kind of made a TLC match in some ways as well, bring out tables and ladders and chairs as well during the matchup. That was pretty cool. A lot of the spots were awesome in this matchup, like when Jeff runs on the chair and onto Orton into the cage was pretty cool. The ladder spot with Orton where he suplexes him into the ladder, that was pretty nice. Or when Hardy starts like beating the crap out of him with his belt and leaves welts on Orton's back. Lots of cool spots here. The fact that these two are like like almost like I think Orton is almost in his 40s and Jeff is in his 40s, and they're still able to pull off a great matchup like this, especially in this type of a caliber of a matchup, is really incredible. I think both guys did a fantastic job with that. The ending is still one of the most brutal endings I've seen to a matchup all year, where Jeff Hardy tries to go for that huge spot off of the Hell in a Cell, but unfortunately falls to his doom, and that's how Orton gets the win. Also, I like Orton's heel tactic during that, where the referee's trying to stop the match. He's like, what are you doing? Count the pinfall. Like, Orton just doesn't care. He's like, he wants to win. And it's an amazing Hell in a Cell match. Like I said, it's probably the best one I've seen in quite some time, and it definitely deserves to be on my list.
You know, definitely a great match. But on to my number 7, which is another match I have seen live, and it is from NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4, and that is Mustache Mountain versus Undisputed Era for the NXT Tag Team titles. You know, this is the third time they faced all year. The first time being in that UK title tournament, or in that like special where they lost it and then they won it back in that match on NXT, and this was kind of the blow off to the feud. And I think this is the best match that they have had between the three of them. The action was great. It was like Lorcan and Birch, the match with that, but like kind of like times 10, and that's what I love about it. You know, Tyler Bate is one of the best in the world, in my opinion. And, you know, Undisputed Era just showing why they are so great. There were a lot of times where I thought Mustache Mountain had it, and the emotion and the drama were at high. I love the spot where Trent Seven has the towel, and he looks like he's going to throw it in because of what happened when they lost the titles, where Tyler Bate threw in the towel. But he literally tosses it into the crowd, and like there was a big pop for that. And then at the end, where Mustache Mountain goes for one of their finishers, and Roderick Strong comes in with that brutal knee, and then they hit their finisher in 1, 2, 3. That was great. Just a lot of great spots. One of my favorite spots is when you know, Tyler Bate, and this just shows how great Tyler Bate is and how like insane he is. Where he goes for the airplane spin with like the swing, but then Kyle O'Reilly has him on his back, but he still ends up to take both of them down. Or I love it where Roderick Strong has Trent Seven in the stronghold, and then Kyle O'Reilly has Tyler Bate in like a triangle choke, but Tyler Bate just lifts him up and bashes Kyle O'Reilly into Roderick Strong, which was great. And so this was like, honestly, in my opinion, an unpredictable match where I didn't know who was going to win. It was a lot of great sequences, a lot of great spots, very fast-paced, and just two of the best tag teams in WWE right now going at it. And I absolutely love this match. It is my number 7.
All right, nice. All right, my number 7 is Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles for the WWE Championship at TLC.
All right.
This matchup was incredible. To echo what you said, this match was really unpredictable. I actually didn't know who was going to win this, to be honest. Like, there were times where I actually thought AJ Styles was actually going to get back the title because it just made it seem believable that he was. And then there was times where I thought Daniel Bryan was going to, you know, retain the title and still be champion. This was a technical masterpiece, as you said. A lot of stuff just happened in this matchup that was amazing. Lots of great offense by these two, you know, and like it was really fantastic. I love the finish to this matchup. Like it was almost like Daniel Bryan was just exhausted. He was just felt like this was the only way I'm going to be able to beat him, and that's how it was done. I thought it was done very well, honestly. It was a great championship matchup. I know I said the TLC match was my favorite matchup from this show, but I rewatched this again. I'm like, I think I slightly prefer this matchup, honestly, because just of how the technicality between these two were great. I really loved it a lot. So, yeah, I think that's what comes as my number 7, Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles.
You know, obviously a great matchup is on my list. But, yeah, no, so can't argue with that, it being on your list. So my number 6 is a match that did not happen in WWE. And it is Marty Scurll versus Will Ospreay for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title. It is the one that got 5 stars from Dave Meltzer. I can't remember the name of the show it was on. That's on me. But it is the one that got 5 stars from Dave Meltzer last year. I can 100% see why this got 5 stars. These two have amazing chemistry, and they're just fantastic. I mean, in our top 5 high flyers video, I did mention that Will Ospreay is one of the best, and I think he is the best currently right now. And Marty Scurll is just one of my favorites. I love his character, and I love his matches. He is such a fantastic wrestler. And these two just have such amazing chemistry together, and I feel like this match is like what this feud is going to be remembered by. I mean, they're probably going to be wrestling more matches because they're both in New Japan and ROH and stuff like that. But yes, just the chemistry between these two is off the charts. Great story was told. Great chemistry. A lot of great spots, especially from Will Ospreay. And the story here was that Ospreay has never beaten Marty Scurll one-on-one. So will this be the first time he does it, or will Marty Scurll beat him once again? And Ospreay was able to do it, and I thought it made that his victory mean that much more because this is the first time he's ever beaten Marty Scurll one-on-one. And definitely unpredictable too. I didn't know who was gonna win. I was definitely wanting Marty Scurll to win, but I can't complain that Will Ospreay won. These are two of my favorite wrestlers right now. Two definitely my favorite outside of WWE, especially Marty Scurll. And definitely check it out if you haven't.
Yeah. All right, my number 6, boys, is The Miz versus Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor in a triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship from WrestleMania 34. This was personally, I think, my favorite opening matchup of any event from this year, to be honest. This matchup just... This is how you start off a show. And the fact that nothing beat this, in my opinion, for the match of the night for WrestleMania was quite something. All 3 of these guys did an absolutely phenomenal job. I felt like all of them gave it their all in this match. Really showed why all 3 of them are really talented dudes. And to start off a WrestleMania, because that's a big thing. You got to start off WrestleMania in an Intercontinental Championship match. That's a pretty big deal. And the fact that these guys, David, one second.
What happened?
Motorcycles. I fucking hate them. They're always in this area. All right, now, but no, like I was trying to say, it's a very important thing, and these 3 men really pulled it off. Obviously, as you all know, I really wanted Finn Balor to win this, but Seth Rollins did end up winning this, which I'm not complaining about either because Seth Rollins is incredible. But this matchup was great. A nice moment for Rollins too. He was the last guy of the Shield to become a Grand Slam champion. Yeah, I love this matchup a ton. Definitely, in my opinion, the best opening matchup of the entire year, in my opinion.
Yeah, all right, on to my number 5, which is my pick for a tag team match of the year, and definitely one of the best tag team matches I've ever seen in my life. Another match that is outside of WWE, and that is the Golden Lovers versus the Young Bucks at Strong Style Evolved. And you want to talk about storytelling in the ring. This is probably one of the best told stories in the ring that I've ever seen in my life. This is right after, Kenny Omega split from the Bullet Club. And he was still kind of torn because the Young Bucks were his friend and now they're not. And just all the story in this match was amazing. And some of the best selling I've ever seen in my life from Matt Jackson. The spots in this were insane. And this shows to me why the Young Bucks are the best tag team in the world right now. I really would have loved to see them in WWE, but I can't wait to see what they do with All Elite Wrestling. It was great to see the Golden Lovers back, and I really didn't know who was gonna win. I know I've been saying that for a lot of these matches, but I was really who was gonna win. This was so unpredictable, and you never knew if a move was gonna actually get hit or not, because there were so many counters in this match and so many creative counters and just, like you didn't know, like you legitimately did not know who was going to hit what or who was going to counter what or like what was going to happen in this match because like you think like, Kenny Omega's going to hit the one-winged angel, but no, like that gets reversed or, like they're going to hit, the Meltzer driver or more bang for your buck or something like that. And you just don't know what's going to happen. Like there's just one spot like in this match where Kenny Omega's laying on a table and they're going for, I believe, more bang for your buck. And instead of going for the moonsault on to Kota Ibushi, he goes and jumps and sends Kenny Omega through the table. Like that was great. And everybody just was great in this match, told the story perfectly, and it's one of the best tag team matches I've ever seen in my life, and probably one of the best tag team matches I've seen probably since DIY versus Revival in the 2 out of 3 falls match from Toronto. Probably might be even better than that in my opinion. I don't know. I haven't seen the 2 out of 3 falls match in a while, so I would have to revisit that one. But yeah, no, this match is insane. Definitely one that everybody, especially people who love tag team wrestling, should check out because this is how tag team wrestling is done right, in my opinion.
All right, nice. All right, definitely should check that one out. All right, so I kind of lied about number 6 because I forgot that this next matchup was an opening matchup. And that's Adam Cole versus Ricochet versus Velveteen Dream versus EC3 versus Lars Sullivan versus Killian Dane, 6-man ladder match for the NXT North American Championship. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I forgot this was an opening matchup, so forgive me for that. But no, this matchup, we had a lot of great ladder matches this year. Honestly, I thought we had really some great ones. One that I forgot to mention, regardless of what you think of the Greatest Royal Rumble event, that fucking ladder match was amazing. Like that one was great. Like I mentioned earlier, the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, but this was the best ladder match out of all of them. Like this was incredible. All 6 guys did a fantastic job. I believe this was both Ricochet and EC3's very first match in NXT, and both of them shined very well, especially Ricochet. My God Almighty. There were some crazy, crazy spots in this match, like when Killian Dane did the Vader bomb with Adam Cole on his back, and that was insane. Lars Sullivan I believe he threw Velveteen Dream through the ladder. Lots of crazy spots in this. And right when Ricochet's about to get the title, my boy Adam Cole comes in with the championship and wins it, becoming the very first North American champion. Although I do think the North American title should... My only problem with NXT this year is that really the North American title didn't really feel much like a title this year. Hopefully this year it actually does. But it was still a great moment nonetheless. And, the fact that I could say Adam Cole was the very first champion in WWE, you know what I mean? It is a very cool thing to say. So, like, congrats to him. And, they put on a great, great matchup in this. Honestly, I wouldn't have really been mad with any of these guys winning because I think most of them are really great. So, yeah.
Definitely just missed my list. It was like number 11.
Yeah.
So. All right. On to my number 4. One of the more recent matches that have happened from NXT TakeOver War Games. Johnny Gargano versus Aleister Black.
Nice.
Now, like I know you want to talk about story. Like the story told in this was great. It was revealed that Johnny Gargano was Aleister Black's attacker's visit, the big mystery of the summer, I guess. It made a lot of sense that it was Gargano, and they put on a fantastic match. There was a lot of great spots. Like, again, like you didn't know who was going to counter what because, Gargano could be going for like a DDT or like a diving spear, but Aleister Black hits him with the knee or and whatnot, or like Black goes for like a knee or something and Gargano reverses it or something. And like I would just like I remember like this was like so NXT TakeOver War Games 2 was like kind of like insane for me because I remember like that's really how I won this whole prediction like war between the two of us because we disagreed on a lot, and this was one of them. So I go, you know, this would give me the edge. And then, like, so I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. I really didn't know who was gonna win because, like, even though I predicted Aleister Black, I very much thought Gargano could win, and Black ended up winning. And I love how he hits one Black Mass, and you know, Gargano just falls on him, and he just standing there. And he goes, "I absolve you of all your sins," and hits him with the second one, and that's what was it. So like that was great, and I just love another great spot is when Johnny's like, you know, just hit me with it and like fakes him out and like try to like pretty much plays possum, and that was great. And there was a moment in the match where I thought Johnny had it won where he does the DIY thing and hits him with the knee, and I thought like that was it. Like there's no way like Black kicks out, but he kicks out. So I was on the edge of my seat this whole match. I love heel Johnny Gargano. I think he's fantastic. I love Aleister Black. I can't wait to see what either of them do at TakeOver Phoenix. And I really hope both of them stick around for TakeOver here for, you know, reasons. Yeah, no, this is my number 4.
All right, my number 4 is Becky Lynch versus Charlotte in a last women standing match for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. Evolution, I thought was, I know I'm in a minority with this, but I thought it was a very mediocre pay-per-view, to be honest. I felt that the event could have been a lot better than it was preceded as. But there was a gold shining star in the middle of that mediocre show, and that was this matchup. One of the best women's matches I think I've ever seen in my whole life. These two brought out the best in each other. This is easily the best matchup these two have ever had with each other. They really brought out the best in each other in this matchup, and just the insanity that happened in this matchup was incredible. A lot of great spots involving some tables, some ladders, even chairs at one point, stacking stuff on top of people. Like, it was great. Like, it had a lot of intensity and a lot of frustration because, like I've mentioned in the past before, there are 4 matches that have to end a rivalry. That is an I Quit match, a Hell in a Cell match. What was the other matchup that I said? Shit. Some other match and a last man standing match. In this case, it's a last woman standing match, and I think this really put the marquee on this feud, and really, I think, obviously they'll face each other more in the future probably, but I feel like this put a nice closing book ending to this feud, like to this, like, you know, little feud that they have with each other. And I think it was really great, and honestly ended a chapter in their book that I think was really fantastic. So I love this matchup a ton. Definitely one of the best, like, last person standing matches I think I've ever seen.
And speaking of last person standing matches, my number 3 is Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa.
Oh shit!
Yeah, no, I just got right into this one. This is a match. Surprise, I saw live. So it's all biased because, you know, I saw it live. But
it's a great matchup, so like I can't blame you.
Saying this, like, people are saying shit about me. Like, I'm the only one that's saying that I'm biased. Like, but you know, this is my favorite out of Gargano versus Ciampa, out of the ones that we've gotten this year. A lot of the reason is because I feel like with like the story, the Gargano versus Ciampa is my favorite feud of 2018. I told story in 2018 and in the ring and just in terms of storyline. And I felt like with each match, so this is how I would rank the Gargano versus Ciampas, because I only put 1 because I just felt like if I put all 3, that would just, not that it would be kind of unfair, just I felt like for each like set of matches, just to put the best one on my list. So like I would rank them Gargano Ciampa 3, Gargano Ciampa 1, Gargano Ciampa 2. All 3 are great. But like, so like the story in the first one was great because you know, it was Johnny was trying to get his job back, and it was more than just he had this feud with Ciampa. Ciampa not only cost him the NXT title, but cost him his job. So it was just Johnny fighting for his livelihood, pretty much. And then, yeah, the second one, which was just, I feel like just a blood feud, like it wasn't over. And then, you know, it was great that Gargano got too aggressive and he could have ended it, but he just went too much, and Gargano or Ciampa got the better of him in that one. And then this one, it was just the peak of all this, and really like the you could pretty much cut the tension with the knife. The hatred for each other was at as high as it could really go, and the story was as great as it could have been, in my opinion. And the fact that like it was a last man standing match, and like you said, like there are certain match types that should end a feud, and this was one of those match types, in my opinion. So the fact that like this feud is getting a last man standing match was great. And that like again, like Gargano could have won that match. And like there could be an argument made, Gargano was stupid, like he could have just ended it. But like the thing is, like Gargano has such a hatred. Like I feel like winning that match was more than just for the NXT title. It was more than I like hate Tommaso Ciampa. I need to beat him. And he wanted to make him pay for all that he's done since TakeOver Chicago won, when he turned on them.
Like his hatred got the better of him, and that
so like he could have ended it, but like he just wanted to like hurt Tommaso Ciampa so bad that it ended up costing the match, not only in the second match, but in this one. And it was like so evident. And even like Tommaso was like, please, like you like it's not even worth, like you could see him like please, it's not even worth it. Like you won this match. But like he cost himself the match. And I feel like that makes Gargano that makes Gargano character seem better. That also makes Ciampa like seem better. And like there were some craziness about this match. I mean, I love that Tommaso went for the DDT onto the wood in the ring, but Gargano ended up DDTing him. I love the fact that the handcuffs got brought out, and Ciampa, you know, the ring match, just great storytelling. Like these two are probably the two best. Like these are like the wrestlers of the year because of what they've been doing in this feud, and especially Gargano. Gargano has been in 5 takeovers this year, and in my opinion, all 5 of them have been 5 stars. Like all of them have been perfect matches.
Oh yeah, percent. I agree.
And we'll get to one a little bit later on, but like honestly, if I didn't do my rule of okay, like I'll only stick to one Gargano and Ciampa, all 3 would have made my top 10.
Oh yeah, percent.
Yeah, but like I only went with one, and I just chose what was my favorite. And again, a lot of it has to do with me going there live. And I'll be the first one to say, like matches that I go to live, and I mean just anybody, like the emotion is heightened. Like being live could make a bad match like enjoyable. It can make a decent match good, and it can make a good match great, and like a great match like even like that much more. And like since like okay, for like the Rumble, like that was a great Rumble, like whether I was live or not, they're live or not, like, but that just elevated it so much more for me. And you know, this is the same for this. Like it was already a great match, and I'm sure if I went to any of the other ones, I'd probably be saying, oh, you know, like that was the best. But since like I was there live, and I have that memory of being there live, and I have like the emotion is just like amplified when you're like there live, because you're seeing everything live. Like you're there, like you could feel like the emotion of everything. So that's why I believe, or at least that's why I usually like if I see a great match live, wow, like those would like I like put those above matches I don't see live, and I'm sure like everybody's like that. And like I mean I could have been completely biased and put like all my top 10 matches, like all matches I've seen live this year, because I've seen because I went to 2 takeovers in the Royal Rumble, so like it wouldn't have been that hard. But you know, I'm not biased because there are some not so good matches I've seen live this year. But yeah, no, Gargano Ciampa 3, which is my favorite out of the 3, is my number 3. A lot of 3s being said right now.
Number 3, for me is Pete Dunne, Ricochet, and the War Raiders versus the Undisputed Era and War Games.
Nice.
I damn near lost my mind like watching this matchup because I cannot believe the insanity that all these guys went through in this matchup. All 8 of these guys put just everything on the line for this matchup. It was fantastic. I loved every minute of it. This was literally insanity. Like, somehow they topped the War Games match from 2017. Somehow they did it. And just everything from the table crashes to the many trash can shots to the Undisputed Era themed chairs. Just everything was amazing about this match. My favorite spot of the whole match is when Ricochet is on top of the cage and just splashes onto everybody. Man, I gotta give kudos to all 8 of these guys in this matchup because these guys put all their bodies on the line for this matchup, and it was absolutely fantastic. In my opinion, this was the best match of this event. And I really do think it's an absolutely incredible match, and I loved it so much. And I've rewatched this matchup so many times afterwards, and it gets better on each viewing for me. So, yeah, I love it so much. So, yeah, the War Games match comes as my number 3.
All right. Great match, like it just missed, but my number 2 is another match I've seen live. Haha. And it is from NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4, and that is Ricochet versus Adam Cole for the NXT North American Championship. This match, like, I knew this was going to be a great match, but the match I was honestly looking forward to the most was Gargano versus Ciampa in the last man standing match. Like, and that didn't disappoint. And like, not that like I didn't think this was going to be as great as it was, but like I didn't think I was going to end up loving it as much. Like, I remember just like sitting there and the match ended and I go, man, like you see a match. Like when I saw Daniel Bryan versus AJ, that match ended and I go, holy shit, I just saw one of the best matches of the year. Without question. And like I saw that and I go, I just saw what could be one of the best matches of the year. And it was a very emotional win for me, for Ricochet, because I feel like just like with the whole like Undisputed Era and what like the Ricochet and like this goes back to TakeOver New Orleans. Like Ricochet almost won it, but Adam Cole cost him it. And then the feud leading up to it, and even after, like I feel like it made that win so much more special. And there were some great spots in this match. The one, like I think it's probably my spot of the year, was when Ricochet goes to do the moonsault.
Oh yeah!
Bam! Like I go to my friend who I'm sitting with. I go, Adam Cole's gonna do something, but like I didn't think like that was gonna be the something. Like I thought it was just gonna be like Adam Cole missed and then like super kicked him or something. But no, like he super kicked him and like you could see him actually kick him. So I go, damn, like that was crazy. And then
like best mid-air super kick I think I've seen since Shawn Michaels super kicking Shelton Benjamin mid-air.
Oh man, and then there was another one where like Ricochet goes to like launch back, but Adam Cole catches them into a backbreaker. Like that was fantastic. And obviously seeing the 630 senton was like a thing of beauty. So, but you know, like this is a match that so rewatchable, so amazing. Like the story and the feud is so great, and like the in-ring is great. Like this, this is easily one of the match of the year contenders, but it's not match of the year because we'll get to that. But Ricochet versus Adam Cole for the NXT North American title is a fantastic match. My match of the night for Brooklyn 4, obviously. And my number 2.
My number 2 is Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa from NXT Chicago 2 in the Chicago Street Fight. This was my personal favorite out of the three. You made very good points about what 1 and 3 and this one as well, but for me, just this one, this one, it was so brutal to watch. My God, did these two beat the crap out of each other? Like, I feel like out of all three of these matches, this is the one where I felt the hatred between the two the most. Like, these two just beat each other up. They tore apart the ring. They just went at it. Like, oh man, the spot with the tables, just insanity. This is everything a street fight I think should be. Like, it's two guys that just hate each other so much, and this is easily the best street fight I think I've seen since Punk versus Jericho, which was also a Chicago street fight.
Yeah, honestly.
But this was awesome to watch. Like, legit, two guys that hate each other so much, and they just go at it in a street fight, in street clothes even. Like, these two just beat the crap out of each other, and sometimes I just like seeing that. As much as I love my technical wrestling and my singles one-on-one match, I like when guys just beat the shit out of each other with like weapons and shit. And this is exactly what this matchup was. Just two guys that hated each other, were bitter enemies, and just said, fuck it, we're just gonna beat the crap out of each other. And it was great. So yeah, absolutely incredible match. I love it a ton. And yeah, very close to being my number one, but there's just one match that just beats it.
I will say two things. One, Gargano has consistently great attires at these takeovers all year. This one being my favorite.
I may have a little bit of bias, Steve, but the Punisher one's my favorite.
Oh yeah, like honestly, like my favorite like attire of the year is Rey Mysterio at All In with the Wolverine. Like, how can I not have that be my favorite?
Yeah, it's same. Like me, how can I not have his Punisher attire?
But like honestly, no, I just thought. I mean, they've all been great. I mean, he's done what is it? Star-Lord from Philly. Fucking Thor Ragnarok, New Orleans.
Yeah, he did.
Captain America was Chicago too. That being my favorite. Venom at Brooklyn 4 was great, and the one that you like, Punisher, like that was great. They've all been great, and I'm like, I always like it because I go, ooh, what is he gonna do next? Like, what is he gonna do at Phoenix? Like, who knows? And like, what I like about him is they've all like. Okay, like I feel like they've all like at least the Venom one and like the Captain America one. And like the Thor Ragnarok, like the ones like I don't really know what the Star-Lord one means, but it's still great. Like the Thor Ragnarok one, that means like it kind of like signifies to me he's going to war. With Chop. But like the Captain America one, he's supposed to be like this hero, and then like for the Venom one, like that's like kind of foreshadowing his heel turn in a way.
Yeah.
And like the funny thing, I love Johnny Gargano. Like he's honestly, him and Braun are like my two favorite heels right now.
Yeah.
And like obviously the Punisher one's great, but this one being my favorite. And I love while I do love all the spots in all three of them. One of my favorites, and I don't know if it's quite my favorite, but one of my favorites is when Tommaso Ciampa's breaking him to the top. And he's kind of like doing what they did in the first one, where he's like waving bye to people, and he's like, "Say goodbye, Johnny. Say goodbye to the fans. Say goodbye to Candice. Like, say goodbye to everybody." And he's doing what like he did in the first one, where they're walking up the ring, waving bye to everybody, and then he throws them into the, the fucking, I don't even know what to call it, but the I don't want to say Titantron, but he throws them onto the the lead screen thing in the ramp. And then, goes to put him through the table, but Gargano puts him through the table. And I just thought, like, that was, like, brilliant from both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then, and then he took the ring off. Like, that was all, like, brilliant stuff. So those are, like, the two things. Like, when I say, like, this is my least favorite, and in my opinion, the weakest out of the three, like, that's not really saying much.
That's like saying Toy Story 2 is the worst out of the Toy Story films, but that's still like an A+ movie.
Toy Story 2 isn't the worst. It's the best.
But
anyway, like, I said this on Twitter, and this is just my personal opinion. In my opinion, I think the weakest Gargano Ciampa is better than the strongest Omega Okada match. And that's just me. I don't know how anybody else feels. If you were to tell me that you think Okada Omega is better than Gargano Ciampa, I believe you. Like, and the Omega Okada matches are all fantastic. But just in my opinion, I think that the best told feud in this decade, really. Maybe. I don't really know, but like just in the last couple years has been Gargano Ciampa. And the like best set of matches in a long, long time has been Gargano Ciampa. And I love Omega versus Okada. I love that story. I love those 4 matches are all great, but like in just my opinion, I prefer Gargano versus Ciampa. But anyway, on to number 1. I've been raving about this match all year. This should really come to a surprise as no one. It's from NXT TakeOver Philadelphia. Another match that I saw live. Gargano versus Almas.
That was also my number 1.
Nice. So yeah,
yes.
no, I've been raving about this match all year. You can ask anybody who I talk wrestling with. Like when I say my favorite match of the year, like legit, like I saw this match and I go, damn, this is going to be hard to top. And like it was like worth it. Like Ricochet and versus Adam Cole was close, but like it's still like this is one of not only the best matches I've seen live. It actually is the best match I've seen live, to be 100% honest. But this is one of the best matches I've ever seen. This is easily one of my favorite matches. I've watched it a ton of times. I saw it back in January live, a live year ago, and I've been talking about this match. I've been watching this match, and it's I legit with Ricochet and Cole. The match ended, and I was just in awe of what I had just seen. And I turned to my friend and I go, "That might be one of the best matches I have ever seen live. It might be one of the best matches I have ever seen." And I don't want to say, "Oh, it is," because like with stuff like that, I always want to wait a little bit because there is that bias of being there live. So like I wanted to wait to watch it again and watch it multiple times before I could definitively say, yes, this is one of the best matches, or this is the best match I've seen live. This is one of my favorite matches of all time now because I've seen it about a bajillion times now because I can. And just the technical wrestling, the high flying stuff was great. It just like was fantastic. And I know everyone's gonna like, oh, Omega Okada 4 is probably gonna win match of the year and most like newsletters and whatnot, but like this is really the match of the year in my opinion and a lot of people's opinion. And I just love this match. I'll let you talk about this match for a little bit because I've been talking about this match all year. So
now this was at the point where I wasn't back into wrestling just yet. I will admit that, but a lot of people were telling me, hey, please watch this match. And I was like, all right, I'll watch it. This was somewhat of the start of me getting back into wrestling. Not fully, but it was somewhat the start. Honestly, if any wrestler I have to thank the most this year for really getting me back into wrestling, I made a tweet about this, was Johnny Gargano, to be honest, because just the dude made me fall back into love with wrestling again, and just this matchup was a testament to that. This is easily one of the best wrestling matches I've ever seen in my whole life. This was emotion, storytelling, and just pure wrestling at its finest. And both guys did an amazing, amazing job in this matchup. There were many times where I didn't know who was going to win. I thought Gargano was going to pull it off at one point. Didn't do it. You know, he didn't get the job done in this, but you know, we don't always win them all, but it was amazing. But I feel like he came out the true winner of this, even though he didn't win the matchup. Just like they were both winners, honestly, because just what they did with this matchup was absolutely incredible. I wasn't too aware of Andrade Cien Almas at first because like I said, I wasn't that into wrestling really all that much at first. Like, I know he won the title and stuff, but I was like, I'm not really too sure of who this guy is and whatever. But then when I watched this matchup, I'm like, okay, I need to, like, look into this guy more because, wow, his performance in this match was incredible. Like, both of these guys gave it their all. This was easily the best matchup. The fact that this was really the first main event match we've seen at a pay-per-view that year, and the fact that it's still stuck with us as our best match of the year kind of says something. Who knows? Could that be the same with this year? I don't know. But this matchup was just absolutely phenomenal in almost every sense. And easily one of the best wrestling matches I have ever seen. This is up there probably with Punk versus Cena as like my favorite wrestling match this whole decade, to be honest.
Oh,
It is honestly, this is just absolutely incredible and easily my favorite matchup of the whole year. So yeah, that's my number one. Andrade Cien Almas versus Johnny Gargano for the NXT Championship.
You know, and I'll definitely like echo everything that you said because, like, I mean, I knew I've been watching wrestling consistently since, you know, like the early 2000s. So I never like lost that passion for wrestling. And I've been pretty much into wrestling, but like I knew who Almas was, and I thought it was cool that he won the title, and like I go, oh, that's like unexpected. But like I wasn't really sold on Almas. Like I knew Almas was good. He's had great matches even when he was a face. I loved, or before like Vega came in, he had a great match with Roderick Strong. Very underrated. Check that out if you haven't. But like then Vega came in, and that's when I started really noticing him a lot. And then like he had a great match with Gargano. Then it wasn't nearly as good as this one. You know, and then you know that match against McIntyre was really good. And so, but like I was like, I'm watching this match and I go, man, like I have to like, I am now a huge fan of Almas. I mean, I've always been a fan of Gargano, and I've liked Almas. Like, there's no doubt that he was good, but like I never was like really like sold on him. And but like this really like sold me on him. This one of my favorite matches of the decade as well, right up there with Cena and Punk with you, but also Taker Michaels 2.
For sure.
I mean, Taker's Michaels 2 is one of my favorite matches of all time. So is Punk versus Cena. Like those are both like great matches. But this is up there. I mean, I love. This is the best match probably I've seen since Punk versus Taker. And that's saying a lot because I've seen a lot of there's been a lot of great matches since 2011.
But just the animosity in this, just what was happening, just it was like it reminds you why you love wrestling.
Yeah, this was like this reminded me why I love wrestling, and like this is everything a wrestling match really should be. And like I say it a lot. Like I'll see a match, whether it be live or on TV, and I go, if Dave Meltzer doesn't give this 5 stars, he's an idiot. And then a lot of times he doesn't give it 5 stars, and I go, this guy's a fucking idiot. But I go to my match, and I after this match, I literally go, if Dave Meltzer does not give this match 5 stars, I don't know what I would do, because like this is one of the best matches, and I knew it instantly. That's one of the best matches I've ever seen. And it's one of the best it is the best match I've ever seen live. And he ended up giving it 5 stars, thank God. And like it was like, how could like you not give a match like this 5 stars? Like how can you not? And he thankfully did. And this was just a masterpiece by both. Definitely the best match I've seen from either guy. I've been raving about this match all year. I can go on and on. There's nothing that I can say that has really been said other than it's a technical masterpiece. This match is what wrestling should be and is, and this is why this match is the reason why I love wrestling, and this is one of my favorite matches of all time.
Hell yeah, I agree 100% with this. And
that's our list.
Hell yeah.
You know, I very much liked your list.
Same with yours.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm very happy that we have the same number one. So like, I'm not biased, I guess, and I love how I'm still saying it. Like, people are calling me biased, but like, whatever. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please be on the lookout for the Royal Rumble preview predictions, which is
also NXT Phoenix.
Oh, Phoenix, yeah, which should be next week.
Yes.
Which we are doing them on Wednesdays now, I believe, right?
Yes, we are, because that's when all the matches are like fully announced and we can properly, you know.
Yeah, even though they could announce something on the weekend, but there's no really like predicting that. But
yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, so yeah, that should be coming next week. I will be seeing Glass this week, so please expect a review on that. I am trying to be more consistent reviews. I know I say this all the time, but it's really something that I'm working on.
He's trying.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anything you want to say before I end things off?
Thank you all for watching this video. You can check me out on my channel, FilmFan0599. Always a pleasure doing these videos with you, Andrew, my good sir. And yeah, hopefully, once the Phoenix and Royal Rumble come along, hopefully, we put up a good start to our predictions.
Yeah, I am the reigning champ, so I got a tall order to fill, and he's got.
I'm taking the title this year, boys.
Yeah, no, I mean, we just know that you're gonna predict Jeff Hardy to win the Royal Rumble, and that's gonna be the end of it.
Yes.
I don't even know. I honestly don't even know if he's announced or not. He could be. I don't know.
No, he announced. No, he announced. He announced he's in the Rumble.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so you're 100% predicting Jeff Hardy to win.
Yeah, I mean that's who I personally want to win, but I don't think that's who's going to win.
I'll tell you who's gonna win next week.
Yes.
Yeah, no, thank you guys for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe, do all that kind of fun stuff. And just remember, guys, to holler if you hear me.
Yes.